Hey everyone, welcome to what's turning out to be one of the trickiest winter storm predictions we've had to wrestle with lately. We're here to break down all the fresh data from this afternoon and evening's model runs. And honestly, things have shifted big time, especially for folks on the East Coast. We'll kick things off with the central US, then swing over to the eastern side of the country. After that, we're going to dive into the nerdy stuff a bit, talking through what's changed, why we're seeing these shifts, and what the atmospheric conditions are actually telling us about where this beast is heading. I'm putting my name on this forecast, so let's walk through it together. It's one step at a time. Alright, let's start with the central US and the watches that just went into effect. They've really blown up the winter storm watch area across a massive chunk of the country. Anywhere you spot that teal color on the map if you're county or parish. For our Louisiana friends, falls in that zone, you've got an active winter storm watch right now. Once you get down near San Antonio, these shift into extreme cold watches. And you'll notice some overlap between extreme cold and winter storm watches in certain spots. But the main winter storm watches stretch all the way into the eastern US, which we'll get into more detail about in a minute. And by the way, if you want specific forecasts for your area or city, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer individually when I can squeeze in the time. Also, if you're digging the video and want to subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Now let's keep moving. We're talking Nashville, Huntsville, Florence, and Alabama, stretching all the way over to Jackson, Mississippi. Memphis and Little Rock are in the mix too. The entire state of Arkansas is in the crosshairs, along with a good portion of southern Missouri's lower half, reaching up into parts of southern Illinois. Pretty much all of Kentucky is covered. Almost all of Oklahoma, except a couple counties. Big sections of southern Kansas. And a large swath of the enormous state of Texas, obviously including the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. It's go time, people. This storm is coming, and the watches are up. Let's jump into the latest European model data because we've got brand new information that just rolled in. Starting Friday evening on the 23rd, blue represents snow, pink is freezing rain, and any orange you see is sleet. We're starting to see our winter storm firing up across Oklahoma Friday evening. Freezing rain is beginning to spread down into northern parts of Texas, reaching all the way back into the high plains of Texas. Snow is pushing all the way up into Kansas City. This is showing all snow for northern Missouri, the Ozarks of northern Arkansas, and southern Missouri. And we've got freezing rain sliding into the Little Rock area. Basically, the entire state of Arkansas is getting sliced in half by precipitation type as we roll into Saturday afternoon. We're looking at an ice storm based on what the European model is showing us. Different models are painting different pictures as we get into Memphis and the northern areas of Mississippi. This is all freezing rain across northern Texas. All freezing rain in southern Oklahoma. But it's a legitimate snowstorm in northern Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. We've got winter weather reaching back into New Mexico as well. How far north does the precipitation punch up into Kansas and Missouri? The model does show bands of heavy to moderate snow penetrating into these areas. We keep rolling forward into the middle of Saturday night, heading into Sunday. Right in the dead of night, we've got a full-blown ice storm happening in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, northern Texas, southern Oklahoma. Now this is just one model, Renand. I want to be crystal clear about something. We are forecasting a winter storm. I know I keep saying this over and over, but we're still trying to nail down the crucial details with this system. We've just had enormous changes in the guidance, especially for the eastern United States. Some freezing rain does try to flip into snow in southern Oklahoma, but it's just a brutal ice storm across northern Louisiana and a big chunk of Arkansas. Areas are clinging to snow for dear life up in northern Arkansas. I do think along the northern edge of that pink zone you're seeing that could actually be sleet. Someone might get lucky by getting a significant amount of sleet instead of freezing rain. Remember, freezing rain is what creates the catastrophic ice storm scenario. It literally looks like regular rain when you step outside. But the air temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's freezing on contact at the surface. Sleet is those little ice pellets, like tiny BBs, and snow well. So hopefully everyone knows what snow is. You've got an ice storm moving through the Arklatex region, and Shreveport is getting hammered. Still showing freezing rain Sunday morning in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then it tries to flip into some snow at the very end as this system heads out Sunday evening. the GFS model shows. It's a different scenario and it's kind of an outlier. Though you could argue the European is a bit of an outlier too. I'm basically showing you two of the extremes here. The GFS depicts this as a flatter, longer-lasting event beginning Friday afternoon, I'd say midday Friday, across the south-central United States. As we move through the timeline, you're going to see considerably. It's more orange on your screen with the GFS. I think the GFS is doing a better job of showing that. There's going to be substantial sleet accumulation. I'm not totally convinced it's going to be as much sleet as the GFS is cranking out, though by Saturday morning, it's showing a full-on winter storm across northern Texas with freezing rain all the way down to central Texas. What's remarkable is that it keeps southern Texas as all rain. Even where winter storm watches are posted, it does try to switch to some freezing rain at the very end on Sunday. But this tells me the National Weather Service might not be fully buying what the European model is selling. The European model is historically one of our best. MotoZit's the king in my opinion, but I don't want to get too off track here. Saturday afternoon on the GFS continues to show the winter storm raging across northern and central Texas. It's showing a drier scenario up in Oklahoma and Kansas compared to the Euro. It's more of a mix of sleet and snow in Arkansas compared to the European, which really wants to show an all-out freezing rain event. It's depicting a major ice storm in northern Louisiana and northern Mississippi with a lot of sleet in Memphis and Little Rock. Now, let's shift gears to the eastern United States. Winter storm watches in that teal color have expanded across all of Tennessee, extending all the way down to northern Alabama, stopping just north of Birmingham. Northern Georgia is included. They don't reach Atlanta yet. They stretch all the way into the Greenville-Spartanburg area in the upstate of South Carolina. Rock, Hill, Charlotte, the Piedmont, and they extend all the way to just east of Raleigh over to Lynchburg. Virginia, all of Western Virginia, covering a big chunk of West Virginia, including Charleston. Reaching all the way up to Cincinnati and the entire state of Kentucky, there are two things I'm pretty confident will change. First, I'm really confident we're going to wake up to more widespread winter storm watches across the DC corridor. The second thing I'm slightly less sure about, but still keeping a close eye on. Is this Interstate 20 corridor up to Interstate? It's 95. I think this is a fascinating area that's not getting talked about as much, so everyone is laser focused on the snow potential. The big question is whether we're going to see winter storm watches extended into these regions. This is kind of where I live here in Columbia, South Carolina. And there are two critical questions. Are you going to get a full-blown ice storm in this area? And two, some scenarios are showing the precipitation to be so amped up that it might actually overshoot this area and you might stay drier. Even if you are cold enough. I'm watching to see if they issue winter storm watches across this region. Let's look at the new guidance we have. We've got the fresh 18Z run. So if you're just tuning in, blue is snow, pink is freezing rain, any orange you see is sleet. We start Saturday morning and keep moving through the timeline. As we get into Saturday evening, even in Tennessee, it doesn't really start off as snow. It's straight sleet and freezing rain right from the get-go. It's all snow up into Kentucky, the southern half of Indiana, and Illinois. It's kind of unusual, actually. It shows some freezing rain trying to build in. It's actually later with this run, which is a bit odd. Well, it's not odd meteorologically, this is the way it can happen. But it's almost like the moisture fills in gradually. You'll see it happen. Then boom, you see how it fills in? This is late, right in the middle of Saturday night coming up on us, and you've got this axis of very heavy snow in southern Illinois, Indiana, getting into Ohio, northern Kentucky. And now even Kentucky is getting substantial freezing rain on this output from the European model. It would just be a straight freezing rain event for many areas. I'm not sure I'm completely buying that. You've got freezing rain kind of oozing down into northeast Georgia and South Carolina. You might be wondering why Alabama's just getting rain. It's because the Euro is consistently showing low pressure, plowing right up the Tennessee Valley, which brings a lot of warm air to the surface and aloft. You keep moving forward, and it's just a raging ice storm for the Appalachian Mountains. Northern Georgia, the upstate of South Carolina, it begins to dry slot the eastern areas of the Carolinas. There's your low pre.